Hello guys, welcome again to Earn Money at Home Worldwide, and right now we will have another video presentation, and this is Bitcoin halving update number 3. We will have a technical analysis and also fundamentals. So pag-usapan lang natin yung pagbagsak ng Bitcoin at doon sa pennant na tinitignan natin last time ay bumagsak siya, no? So if you will remember my update, i-check natin yan kung ano bang nangyari sa Bitcoin. As far as I remember, gumawa tayo nung nakaraan na patterns sa Bitcoin at ang pattern nga natin nun ay etong eto 'pag ganito siya 'no. So, bullish pennant siya. But as you can see, yung order block natin ay naging bearish na. Merong order block dati na bullish. But since na-break niya yan, definitely maaalis yan. Parang ganito yung nangyari diyan, okey. Ayan. As you can see nung nakaraan, even the MACD, yan, sabi ko ba parang bullish na tayo 'no. But, kung titignan natin dito, puwede na ngang umangat, right? Okay. Now, as we all know, market we cannot predict market 100%. Pero sabi ko nga sa inyo, we still have the stronghold dito sa support na 'to na 62. Ito, 'tong area na 'to, okey? Hangga't yan ay hindi binabasag ng full body, okey, ng candles sa 1-day time frame, for sure diyan siya magba-bounce. That's one condition, and sabi ko, we have a stronghold here which I will explain later kung bakit yan isang stronghold natin, yang 52 area. Maraming nagsasabi gusto nila pumunta diyan, mas healthy daw. And definitely may mga imbalances diyan. So, there is a probability. Pero pag-usapan natin what happened is, nagkaroon tayo ng CPI last week, which not a very good news. Alam ko tinaas yata yung interest, but you will watch a video about it. Okay, then yan ang ano nangyari sa ating tanggalin natin 'tong black flag natin na okay. So nangyari nag-create siya ng bearish because of this. And ano nangyari niyan nung Friday, so after the CPI, tingnan natin yung CPI forex calendar natin, forex calendar 2024. Ayan, yung sa forex calendar natin. Ayan, no, not this one. Ano natin yung date natin ngayon, April. Pakita lang natin kung ano yun. So, alam ko April 11, meron nangyari. April 11, PPI. Okay, may CPI ng 9:30 and PPI nung, Thursday ito nangyari. Then PPI. Then 12, makikita nyo, GDP rin lumabas din. But what happened next is, as you can see here, okay, Thursday, Friday, makita na natin since the CPI is very bad, okay, ipakita ko lang sa inyo, okay, yan. Since CPI is very bad, makikita natin na meron tayong red candle. Pero wala pa diyan yung war nung Saturday. Wala pa yung pag-atake ng Israel. Kasi maraming nagsasabi, yes, hindi kasi kaya bumagsak yan dahil war. Actually, masasabi nating isang cause yan, yung Saturday red candle. Pero kung naaalala nyo, I discussed to you normally na kailangan kapag daily bias, as you can see here, papakita ko lang sa inyo. Okay. Ito, body. So, ang binasag. So, inabot niya tong lowest na to na price, although naging green, pumalo siya sa 64. So, expect mo yon. Hindi niya aabutin 64,300. Okay, mayroon tayo basic. Okay, yung basic natin na daily bias candle, yan. So dito, pagka ganyan, we have a strong probability na bumaba muna uli ang presyo kasi body ang binasag niya dito. Okay. So 1 yan. So expect mo may bababa ang presyo pero pwede siya maging green. Now what happened is nagkaroon nga ng atake ang Israel, and then if you remember our news yan 2 days ago, US military shoot, may mga Iranian drones na fired. So nagpanic selling ang mga tao. Nagpanic selling sila. Ano nangyari? We have a red candles yan. Kung makikita nyo yan, red, okay, body na naman ang tapos sinundan ng green after nung Sunday na. Pero we are playing around this. So anong nangyayari sa atin, yung bullish pennant natin na picture o na pattern is hindi na siya bullish, nagbago na siya. So isa rin 'yan sa pag-uusapan natin. But first of all, I want you to watch this 8-minute video which I presented also in my TikTok channel. Panoorin nyo lang. This is a good interview para malaman din natin yung fundamentals of the market condition. Ano nga ba nangyari sa Bitcoin previously, last week, etc. Pero more on fundamentals. Watch this 8 minutes video and then we will go back to our technical analysis. Okay? So, let's watch it.
Bitcoin, altcoins, and most financial markets are suffering a major correction. Is this temporary, or is this cause for concern? What happens next? Tom Lee updates us on exactly what caused this global financial crash. Listen.
Fundstrat's Tom Lee says it's temporary, a temporary moment of pain and a buy-the-dip opportunity. He joins me now at Post 9 to make that case. Good to see you again. I'm glad you're here in person, too. So you don't think that much changed this week?
I think the narrative got muddled because that CPI report was a disappointment, but it was driven by what we'd call stubborn components, shelter, auto insurance. You know, the median core CPI component now has only 1.7% year-over-year inflation. I mean, inflation is normalizing. It's just not evident in the total picture.
So, although inflation is normalizing, CPI numbers were a disappointment due to a select few industry verticals. Well, that's CPI. What about PCE? That's another important economic metric. The bigger question is getting the economy and inflation back on track not as easy as some, like Tom Lee, thought it would be? Let's see what he says.
So the PCE in a couple of weeks is going to be more favorable, we think, than these latest inflation reads. And I know what everybody says about it being the Fed's favored measure on where inflation is. But are you entertaining the idea that this is not going to be as easy as you once thought it was going to be for this last mile, and therefore the market can't do what you once thought it could?
I'd say that that's really the narrative disruption this week, because now the Fed has 3 inflation reports that it can't argue against that are a little hotter than expected.
And the bulls can't really explain them away either, can they?
That's right. So what we would need to see is April and May CPI improvements, which is in the future, and then keeps the Fed from standing in the way of the economy. What we don't want is a Fed that wants to further slow the economy, which is rate hikes. And I think if they just do even one hike this year, it's still actually a good environment for stocks.
One cut, you mean?
Sorry, one cut.
Yeah, let's be clear. See, that's a Freudian slip. I mean, because the greatest fear of all is that they're going to have to hike again, however remote that possibility seems today. And even if you put into the soup all the Fed commentary that we've gotten of late, just seems to be push off rather than push up.
That's right. And I think it's, at the end of the day, it's even the CPI does look like it's somewhat sticky. PCE, as you pointed out, is more cooperative than PPI is, and measures like Truflation show inflation much softer, inflation expectations much lower. So I think at some point we could also just ask, is CPI a bit aberrant?
Okay, so how does Tom Lee think the stock market and financial markets and crypto, how does he think these financial markets play out this year? How does 2024 eventually end?
I'd say that there's upside to earnings. I think multiples can expand I don't think 5,200 is the ceiling for stocks this year.
What feels like the right ceiling now?
I know this is going to be tough for investors to embrace it, but I think something like 56, 5,700 is probably where the S&P exits the year, maybe even higher.
Much more backloaded into that than you once thought?
I think it's still backloaded because we'll have the cuts behind us, and we'll have visibility into 2025 earnings, which probably could be 270, maybe 280 next year.
Well, when you say we'll have the cuts behind us, are you so sure? Right? So let's just take June off the table. For argument's sake, no June.
Yeah.
You think the first one's in July?
Or it could be September. But
that's why I asked you if the move in the market that you just suggested is backloaded. Because you're not going to get a big move until you see the first cut. At this point, now there's a lot of disbelief in the market.
That's right. And Scott, one thing to keep in mind is the probability of a June cut has been reduced, but it can come back if we have a good April and May CPI, because then it's going to put back into focus what is the trend in CPI. It does feel stubborn when you look at January, February, March.
Okay, so Tom is sticking with his bullish outlook on the rest of this year. Remember, this is Tom's Bitcoin price prediction. So far, it's trending in the right direction. Do you think he'll be right?
I think in the next 12 months, something over 100,000, maybe 150,000. And, in the next 5 years, again, there's a finite supply. And now we have a potentially huge increase in demand with a spot Bitcoin approval. So I think in 5 years, something around 500,000 would be potentially achievable.
Remember this, Bitcoin halving is about to happen. Usually, the most bullish price activity doesn't happen until after this. Usually, Bitcoin doesn't break all-time highs until 6 months after this. Usually, it takes 9 to 11 months after this until we see an eventual cycle top. So if history is any indication, we still have 6 to 9 to 11 months of bullish activity. What do you think? Because this cycle does seem a bit different, right? What do industry insiders think? This is Binance's new CEO, Richard Tang. He took over for CZ. He has an insider perspective on what's going on. It's his business to know. Listen to his thoughts on the current state of the crypto market today.
This cycle is a bit different from past cycle. I mean, you have been involved in crypto, so you know. Crypto normally go through 4-year cycle, right? Price movement cycle, which coincide with the halving, which is going to take place in about 9 days' time for Bitcoin. It's normally after about 6 months after a halving that you see a new all-time high in terms of prices. But this time around, it happens even before the halving, right? Which is why it's unique in terms of market cycle. And one of the key reasons is really the introduction of the ETF, where you bring in so many new users, new liquidity, right? I think I saw some figure yesterday that 14 billion net inflows has gone into the crypto ETFs in the States, right? So those are important numbers, but it's still very early days because that is just the first part of it. With that, there'll be much more financial innovation, there'll be more product structuring that you come through. You see a lot more independent houses now being able to advise and their clients to do some allocation into crypto. The foundations, the endowments are going to come through. On our side, we see a lot of TradFi firms, right? The traditional trading firms, now adding crypto as an additional asset class into their suite of products that they trade constantly on a daily basis. And we start to serve them as well, right? So those will bring in new liquidity pools into this industry. So those are key positives. And we are very bullish, right, of the way forward. But we are still in the building stage. So we look forward to working closely with the rest to build this industry together.
So where does the Binance CEO think Bitcoin's price is going? The interviewer really pushes him here. The interviewer asks Richard about the 100K price target. To me, it seems like Richard Tang thinks Bitcoin is going a lot higher. What do you think?
Many have told us this year Bitcoin will hit 100,000.
Well, there are different financial projections. I mean, if you look at the Standard Chartered projection, is what, 200,000 or 250,000 by next year, right? So you have seen price point of 100, I've seen price point of 120. So all these are financial projections. What's important is we always stress to our users, do your own research, right? Just don't be led by others. Don't just hearsay from your friends, from people that think they're in the know. Do your own research, use your own money, be prudent with them, invest responsibly.
Do you have a price in your head this year?
I have a price, but I think it will exceed my price.
In your own opinion, what is it?
My price last year, before the introduction of the ETF, I didn't see the impact of the ETF. My price last year is I would have thought Bitcoin will end at about 80,000 this year. But I've revised my price upwards slightly because of the inflow that I'm seeing.
Hope you enjoy our video.
So ayan, yun yung mga fundamentals natin and even the prediction ng current CEO ng Binance, makikita natin na he's expecting more than 150. Yan ang target din niya. And other expert analysis. And sa akin, kung titignan ko tong chart na to, okay? Kung magbe-base lang ako dito, nasaan ba ako dati? Nung nakaraan. Yeah. Kung magbe-base ako dito and I'll use my FIB. Sorry guys, I cannot teach you this FIB since this is for my private mentorship. Okay. Okay. Paano yan? Hanap this one. Okay. So, pwede nga siyang maglaro dito guys. Ito. This one, ang pinaka-conservative niya. And this is the extended wave 5. Okay. So, kailangan mo na sigurong mag-retrace. So, titingnan lang natin. Ang target niyan, kung babalikan natin tong chart is around 136. Yeah. 136 to 163. And then, maximize niya 200 to 284. Mark this video. Tignan natin kung magkakatotoo yan. This is my target. Medyo, pero in between may retracement yan. Hindi natin masabi kung ganito ang mangyayari niyan. 2, 3, pwede nga bumaba to eh. Then 5 here. Or there will be a longer extended wave 3 or extended wave 5. Yan. Kung gagamitin ko naman yung other FIB, tingnan natin na para lang makita natin yung okay, no, not this one. Yeah, parehas din eh. Follow din siya dito eh. Sa area na una, ito yung una natin 109, then 181, and then ito masyadong malayo na tong 300. But who knows, hindi natin alam ang market as I said. Pero with my two special FIB that I'm using in my private tutorial, makikita nyo. This one is Elliott Wave, the other one is ICT targets. Okay, so ganun pa rin. Yun din ang lumalabas. So now, balikan natin yung ating technical analysis dito sa area na to. Okay, kung what's happening and what is the option. Ang sigurado tayo ngayon, we are in the corrective move. Okay. Ang isa pa, alam natin na tayo ay bullish trend ngayon, but in between, as you can see, we should have correction. Okay? Meron tayong retracement na tinatawag, and we are in retracement. And one thing na nakita ko dito ngayon is, actually, nung chinek ko siya sa 12 hours, okay, or sabihin natin 1 day, may nakita akong something na 1 day or 1 week. No, 2 days yata. Sabi ko, uy, hindi na siya bullish pennant. Kung maaalala nyo, pakita lang natin to guys. So dati, parang ito yung nakikita natin, bullish pennant pattern. Pero pwede rin siya maging, hindi na rin siya symmetrical triangle. Parang symmetrical nga siya nung nakaraan eh. Okay. So, i-move na natin to sa mga recent highs and lows. Kung i-move natin yan, magiging ganyan yan sa 2 days. No, we'll move to 1 day muna. And then, ganito na yan. Okay? So, pwede na nating tanggalin tong, yan, yung sinasabi kong support. So, naging ganito na siya. So, saan siya pwedeng pumunta? If we will go back to basic pattern, parang ganito pa rin siya eh. Yan. Okay. Somewhere here. Mahirap kung maging ganito. Okay? Or maging ganyan. Pero one thing for sure, we are in the corrective move. Ang isang nakikita ko, kung mabubuo ang harmonic pattern, guys, I'll just give you an example. Kung harmonic pattern ang mabubuo dyan, ito siya. From here, 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 babagsak siya talaga ng 51 area. Okay? Or no, tingnan ko sukatin natin ng FIB. Okay. So, babagsak siya ng around 54 area. Or ang pinaka-last support niya, 51. Somewhere here. And then bullish. Kasi bullish pattern to eh. So, ito yan eh. Oh. Yan. Okay. If this will happen. Pero may nakikita akong ibang corrective din eh. Okay? Ang corrective niya sa nakikita ko ngayon. But see, this will be our target as per ICT. Kung ito, kaya lang, ito ay no, this is not the correct one kung pang harmonic pala yung check ko kanina. Yan. Kung sa ICT naman, ang correction nito is pwede siyang mag-correct pa sa baba talaga. Okay? Normally, 0.62 yan sa 58 lang. So, pwedeng weak lang yan, then angat uli. Or worst come to worst, kung ABC correction to ng Elliott wave, not this one. Mahirap talaga. Okay, dun tayo sa Elliott wave 5. No, not this one. Teka lang. Ayun, dito rin ang sapol niya. Sa somewhere 58 to 50. Move natin tong isa. No, not this one. I-move ko lang. Yeah, dito rin siya sa 57, 58. Yung isang correction niya kung ito. Kaya lang masyadong malalim to eh. Yung correction nito. A, B, C. Kung ito magiging A, B, C correction niya. Now, just to give you a story, at least you have an idea. Okay? Pagka sinabi natin kasing correction guys sa Elliott wave, kung makikita nyo, ito yung impulsive move. And then we have correction. Ang problema, napakaraming correction if you will go to advance, which hindi naman natin i-discuss yan. But I mentioned it in the basic of. So, we have like this one, pero napapansin ko, parang ganito siya, right? Flat correction or expanded flat kung magyayari. Yun yung correction natin. So, hindi naman natin i-discuss yung Elliott wave. Pero, pwede rin, ito kasi medyo malabo na kung titignan natin, right? Hindi na siya ganito eh. Ayan. So, ang nakikita na natin is this one. Okay? So, we have to see the next candle kung anong mga lalabas. But, think for sure, we are in the bullish trend pero nasa corrective wave. Tandaan yan. We are still in a bullish kasi yan, no, pwedeng maging flat, maging zigzag. Many things, many correction can happen, but this is a correction. We are sure for that na nasa correction tayo. Ito nga yung in-expect ko lang eh. A, B, C, and then may 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ito yung una. So, possible din ito. No, which 38 to. Kung ito, magiging 38 ng FIV. Yun yung sinukat natin kanina. Ngayon, kung ito from here, hindi siya 38. Actually, 50 na siya. Umabot siya ng 50. So, hindi siya yung 38 na correction. Nandito siya. No, not this one. Yeah, this one. Pwede rin to. Makikita natin, nasa 50% correction na siya as per PIF. So, ito kasi, ang sukat nito ay 0.38. Okay, 0.38 yung sukat niyan. Let's see. Ang importante, alam na natin kung nasaan. So, as we remember, ang halving is this coming Saturday. Sa 20 ang target, Saturday or Sunday, mauubos na yung nung last week kasi 1,000 BTC na lang ang natitira to be mined bago magkaroon ng halving. Kasi kailangan ng bilang yan. Hindi exactly mangyayari yan sa date. Mangyayari yan kung ilan pa ang pwedeng minahin na Bitcoin, which is that is 1,000. Okay? So, ito, let's see kung ito magbabounce, yung sabi ko kanina, ABC, pwede hindi naman strictly, pwede siya mag-bounce dito. Pero kung ito ay bababa, somewhere here lang yan, at aangat uli. Now, bukod sa stronghold ko ang 60K guys, bakit ba ito? Kasi to, order block to. Kung mapapansin nyo, napakaraming order, pwede nga niya yung i-liquidate yan ng kaunti, then umangat. So normally, alam natin, stronghold, kung makikita nyo to, key levels, strong order block, etc. Kung titignan nyo, kung inaral nyo yung, ayan, ayan, kung inaral nyo yung, which yung ginagawa ko ngayon, na market, ano to, hindi to yung, tama-tama, okay lang din. So, this is the sell side range sa market maker model, and this is the buy side na, kung makikita nyo. Parehas na yan ng yung market maker model na ICT. Pasilip ko lang sa inyo. Yeah. Ito yan, no? Yan, no? Kung makikita nyo, market maker model, okay? Kung makikita nyo, we have let's say this, kahit dito na lang tayo nagsimula, no? O kaya dito, parehas siya ng market maker model. So we are in a bullish trend talaga. Ano pa to? Day time frame. Kung pupunta ka pa ng week, mas makikita mo ngayon. We have initial consolidation. Tignan nyo yung wave na to, no, not this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yan, no? Okay. Yung wave na yan. Or pwedeng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then nagkaroon lang ng correction dito. And then, yan uli. Pwede po makikita natin. So, we are really on the right track. Hindi siya mahirap eh. Nakita ko nga dun sa ibang mga nagte-technical analysis. Sa ibang coin, kahit ako, hirap ako sa iba, but Bitcoin, hindi mo masasabing mahirap. Kasi parang ang daming invalidation na tinatawag. But right now, sa Bitcoin, nasa right spot tayo. So if we'll go to halving, makikita rin natin dito kung ano na nangyayari sa ating coin. Okay, sa ating coin. Yan. Yan, yung ating coin natin mismo, kung ano nang nangyayari. So we are still on the right track. Okay, kung remove na natin yung drawing. Okay, we are still, as you can see, consolidating on this area. And pahalbing na. Dito 40 nang nilagay. Yeah, this is our day to day. And then ito, makikita nyo, consolidating in that area. Then pump tayo. Consolidation, ito, hindi nag-consolidate. Nagbagsak siya ng malaki, ng 15%. And then, nag-up siya. So, I hope guys, no, nagkaroon tayo ng knowledge. We are still on a bullish trend, but we still have the resistance in the 60 area, 60K area. Kung bababa man yan, 50 area, 52, andun yung order block natin na malakas. And then that's it. So, my advice, this is not actually a financial advice. My recommendation is, if you want to bag right now, this is the right time. Or hintayin nyo pa kung gusto nyo maghintay ng 52. Kaya lang, kung hindi mangyari ang 52K, sorry, maiiwanan kayo kaagad. But still, you can buy and earn. Pero hindi na kasing ganda ng income nyo. So, like for example, if you invest around $2,000, take note, that can be probably $5,000 next year. Depende sa coin ng mga pinili nyo. If you go to Bitcoin, normally 2 to 3 times ang pwedeng itaas ng inyong investment. But do your own technical analysis. This is not a financial advice. Make sure lang na naiintindihan nyo maging tokenomics, and you have to write. At tandaan nyo, pagka pumunta kayo ng meme coin, mas mataas ang angat pero mas mataas din ang baksak. As you can see, yesterday we have around 30% na drawdown o na bagsak ng mga meme coin, unlike ang BTC, around 5 to 10% lang ang binaba. Okay, sa mga major coin. So at least you understand the tokenomics, you understand the high risk, high reward ratio natin sa spot. And I hope may natutunan kayo dito sa Bitcoin halving. So we expect we will have another update next week. Kung makikita natin, start na ba talaga ng bull run? Yan. So alam ko yan ang inaabangan ng lahat. And definitely, we all know that this is a very different cycle unlike sa others kasi naumpisahan pa lang na may all-time high na. Okay? So yung all-time high natin naabot niya uli bago pa halving, which hindi yan nangyayari because of the Bitcoin ETF traded fund na inapprove ng US Security Exchange and Commission. So magtuturo rin ako guys sa mga ng Bybit. Okay, yung ating Bybit, ituturo rin natin yan, yung mga pwede tayong mag-earn, staking natin, very basic staking. And then ano ba yung mga gandang feature ng Bybit? If you really want to know more, comment lang nung mga ibang topic na gusto. Okay, so update sa mga meme coin, ibibigay natin yan this week. And for those who are waiting for the episode 2 ng ating Moneymaker series ni ICT, medyo advanced yun. At least dapat meron na kayong basic market structure sa smart money concept or ICT concept. May naiintindihan na kayo sa candles at least para hindi kayo masyadong ligaw doon. So again, thank you again for watching here in Earn Money at Home Worldwide, and hope to see you on my next video.